skip back a bit, because in your journey what I hear is you were totally open to opportunities. So you engaged with possibility when you went into your role in the bank, and just were prepared to give it all a go. And that's really benefited you, that kind of open mind. But at the same time, you were navigating this internal imposter, particularly as you became more senior in the organization. And I think, I've coached lots of leaders, and the imposter is ever present. Just because you're at the top of the organization doesn't make you immune to having an imposter. So it'd be really useful to hear from you your reflections on how to manage that critical voice that is having a go at us and telling us we're faking it rather than we're actually really doing it. So tell us a bit more about that, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. And I think, the first thing is to realize that you're not in it on your own. And you feel like it at the time when you've got that inner voice that's going on, you feel like the only person in the world that feels like such a fraud. And the reality is 70% of us will face an imposter at some point. And even Einstein had it. So he has a quote, which is, "The esteem within which my works are held leave me feeling like an unlikely swindler." So knowing that helped, because you kind of like, at least you feel a little bit less of a less of a lunatic. I mean,
yes.
If I'm honest, I struggled with that for so long. But I also, having my little girl was a massive moment for me. And because I remember at one point, I unfortunately had an illness I wasn't certain I was going to survive from. And I went to go and write the letter to give her all the advice that I would like to give her. And I didn't know how to start that letter, to be fair. I mean, how do you start that letter? So I went into her room, and I remember looking in at her, fast asleep and snoring. And it suddenly hit me that the voice we talk to ourselves becomes the voice we teach our children to talk to themselves. And it felt like the world stopped, or maybe just my heart. And I remember in that moment saying, if I survive, I will do whatever it takes, whatever work I need to do to make sure that the voice I've used on myself does not become the one she uses on herself. So I then dedicated the next few years to really learning, really understanding what is it that was causing me to feel like that. And I had another breakthrough moment, which was I inadvertently was making my opinion more important than anybody else's opinion. And for anybody that resonates with being an imposter, that makes no sense. You don't think your opinion's greater. And yet inadvertently you are doing so, because every time somebody gives you a compliment, or every time somebody offers you an opportunity, you say, oh God, if only they knew that I'm not very good at this, that I'm not worthy, that somebody would be better, they wouldn't call me. But the reality is that means you're saying your opinion of yourself, that you are rubbish, is better than their opinion of you, that you're fantastic. Now that actually won't sit well with you, because you won't believe that your opinion is better. So what I learned was borrow their belief. So if somebody gives me an opportunity, if I trust and respect them, then I know that they're doing that because they believe in me. And then I'm going to borrow their belief and do my best to not let them down until I find my own. And it's probably been one of my greatest leadership lessons, which is it's in all of our gift to loan people our belief in them at moments when they doubt themselves. And it's one of the greatest gifts as a leader that you can give, is to go to somebody and lend them your belief. Let them know that actually you've got this. And I remember doing it once at a big organization, where our final day, a final sales day, and we had got a mountain to climb. And if we didn't hit it, the whole company was going to miss its target. So the pressure was on. And I remember standing up at the start of the day, and I genuinely meant every word. And I said, if there's any good karma in the world, this is the team that's going to achieve, because you have shown up every day. You've done exactly what we asked you to do. You've put the customer first. You have not given into the pressure, and you keep showing up, being authentic, being honest. And I believe that if there is any team in the world that can do it, this is the team that can do it. And if you don't believe, borrow my belief, because we can do this. And I must have done the shout out 3 or 4 times. By lunchtime, I'd got the entire exec team coming down as well to get a burst of energy. We had the most amazing day. We didn't just hit the number, we annihilated it. But for me, it was about the moment that you saw that they believed. So they no longer needed my belief because they had their own. And that was the moment that the culture changed. And it was just one of the best days of my working life, to be fair.
I really, really like that. That is a fantastic story. And the whole borrowing, that's kind of opened my eyes. Borrow the belief, borrow. You're right. If someone gives you a compliment and you go, "Phew, don't, it's nothing," you're not being respectful to the person who's given you the compliment, because
Absolutely.
actually they are acknowledging you and they are seeing something in you. And borrow it from them, because actually that it must be there, otherwise they wouldn't be seeing it. So that
Absolutely.
is a fantastic story, and it shows the impact it can have organization wide as a leader, the difference you can make as a leader if you support people by acknowledging and offering them positive beliefs to believe in as well.
Absolutely.